This is the fourth episode in a series about our land travels and cruise in Alaska during the end of May and first week of June 2026. I am 81 years old and my wife is 2 years younger. This channel was started to highlight how our travels have changed to a slower pace because we are not able to be as adventurous as we were when we were younger. In this episode, as well as the highlights of the cruise, first we explain why, after a wonderful time in Denali, we chose to include a cruise during the return home. In our younger days, we would have returned home the fastest way possible, flying with the shortest connection times. Now, that way of travel would incur too much hardship on us. It would be too much sitting all at one time. After about 2 hours of any kind of sitting, we need to get up and move. Flying from Anchorage to our home airport takes about 8 to 9 hours of time in the air, plus airport connection times. To have made the same day connections, our flights leaving in Anchorage would have been between midnight and 9 a.m. Still a long day. So that's all too much for us two old people to endure without taking some kind of long break in order to move and exercise and rest. So the fewer the long flights, the better. Sitting in the front of an airplane or in the back, the flying and sitting times are the same. As for airline lounges in nearby overnight hotels, they may ease the effort and fatigue of air travel. However, instead of turning flight connections into overnight layovers, requiring hotels, meals, transfers with baggage, breaking and re-entering airport security, and other logistics concerns, adding a cruise to the homeward travel was an attractive, less hurried way to go. Cruise ships depart Alaska from Whittier in Seward, and the ferries of the Alaska Marine Highway leave from several ports and connect to Bellingham, Washington. But the cruise ship and ferry options still have issues to be managed. For example, was there an available ship leaving Alaska? When was it leaving? And how do we get to the ship from Healy and get there on time and all that? All of which influence the scheduling of the independent land travel in Alaska. We drove our Toro rental car south from Healy, stopping often to walk. It was a clear, calm day for a road trip. The stop at the Denali viewpoint south was fortuitous. The clouds shifted long enough to allow a memorable moment to see the summit of Denali and to take photographs. We returned that evening to the comfort of the Lake Lucille B&B for another restful night. The next day, we returned our Toro rental car to the Anchorage airport. Here is a travel hint. At the airport's arrival level, behind the escalators, is the Anchorage Information Center. Send a postcard from me. Next to the luggage carousels is the exit to a bus plaza, where we boarded the ATC bus to Seward. Bus transfer time is about 2.5 to 3 hours. There is magnificent scenery along Turnagain Arm. It was raining in Seward. The terminal area was under construction, and the ground was uneven and soft from the rain. Although the bus ride was comfortable and there was a rest stop, rather than walk with my cane from the terminal over the unpaved part of the path to the ship, I rode a 3-passenger shuttle van to the boarding area. Our cabin was an inside cabin on deck 8 forward. in the shower from the door to the handle, approximately 20 inches. So, elbow to elbow for me. The best way to take the shower is probably sideways. Sink to toilet paper, 29 inches. We had calm seas during most of the cruise, but once in a while there was a slightly noticeable roll. One of our favorite places to take in the views was the Sky Lounge on Deck 11 forward. Quiet sometimes, but not always. Here we have the pool and hot tub in the solarium on Deck 10. This is one of the hand wash stations in the Ocean View Cafe on Deck 10 aft. Some people left things on the deck outside their rooms. Others used the passageway cart. At the Hubbard glacier, it was raining most of the time we were outside. In Juneau, we docked near the containers, but there were free shuttle buses to the shopping areas. We did not stop here along this retail area. Instead, we picked up a Turo rental in the parking deck and drove to Mendenhall and Nugget Falls. It took less than 25 minutes to drive from the cruise ship pier to the Mendenhall parking lot. Walking at a leisurely pace from the parking lot to Nugget Falls took about 30 minutes along a forest path. As the arriving excursion herds frantically took selfies and then double quick-timed away to the next itinerary site, I took the time to remain for a while at the falls. Sedate, composed, not preoccupied with time, having harmony with the environment. However, a good thing about having other people at the falls is being able to sense the immense size of the falls relative to the size of a human being. The falling water is majestic. The walk back to the parking lot took longer than desired because of the arriving tour bus crowds flooding the path and being aggressively discourteous about sharing the path as they hurried to keep on schedule. Next, about 15 miles away from Mendenhall, is the St. Therese Shrine. "46 acres on the Lynn Canal, an inlet connecting Skagway, Haines, and Juneau to the Inside Passage in the Pacific Ocean. It's a place of retreat, reflection, and connection with nature. There's something about this place that made the two of us talk in hushed voices, muted and quietly restrained. After what was a busy day for us in Juneau, we had no agenda for Skagway. We have been in Skagway before, seeing and doing most of the must-see things, including a White Pass Railroad excursion, all of which were well worth the time, effort, and expense. But for this day, it would be deliberately unhurried. Just dawdle about. Maybe even shuffle around in the merchandise shops, reminiscing about souvenir clothing purchased during past Alaska travel, worn a few times and then donated to a mission store. The excursion trains look longer than what they were in the past. The shuttle was not free. Returning to the ship, we looked over Skagway from the Sky Lounge on Deck 11 forward. Panoramic, is it not? There is an allure to the unspoiled Alaskan wilderness, a feeling of contentment being in expansive areas of conservation and preservation. However, there is a livelihood benefit for people living here to participate in commercial enterprise. I see both in this view of Skagway. Here at Icy Straight Point, we were too captivated with the views along the waterfront to record videos and photographs. Here in the shops, all kinds of things are for sale, and I think all of them are crafted in Alaska or in the USA. A lot of it created by local craftsmen. In the background, you can see that the celebrity solstice is at the dock. Visitors to Icy Straight Point may walk or ride through the forest between the two ship docks. The weather forecast is for rain showers off and on all day. If we go ashore, we will stay in town. Here is a travel hint. From the upper decks is a good place to plan a route about the Ketchikan retail district. There's a break in the weather, so get your rain gear and let's go ashore. The plants in Whale Park are maintained by the Ketchikan Gateway Borough's Parks and Recreation Department through its beautification and gardening program. It's an enchanting delight, captivating gardeners and anyone who pauses for a moment. It's raining again. Let's return to the ship. After evaluating estimated event times, efforts, and cost elements to arrive without delay to a Vancouver Airport International boarding gate, we purchased a bus transfer offer from Celebrity in order to have scheduled priority departure from the ship and timely arrival at the airport. An added time-saving bonus was that U.S. Global Entry was available at the Vancouver airport. Our first flight was long, but at the connecting airport we had time to walk for exercise and to get a sandwich at an airport lounge. In years past, the lounge benefit that came with an airline credit card was not important. Now, being older, the accommodations and amenities of lounges are important. While planning this trip, there was no apprehension about downtime. Getting older for some time now, I have become appreciative of passing time in a leisurely manner, expecting and accepting life's disruptions as my mind experiences a sense of alignment. During this Alaska trip, how easy it was to perceive nature's peace flow. In summary, this was a high satisfaction trip. Going about at an easy pace of independent, often unscripted activities on land, being able to rest as we needed, being able to savor the moments, to take it all in on our own terms, and then shifting to a cruise ship's port itinerary schedule and its fixed time daily activities, it did not become a set of restriction problems. We planned not to be the first off the ship at each port, competing for space with all the excursion people. When ashore, usually we were at sites between the waves of arrivals and departures of excursions. The exception was being trapped between arriving and departing herds on a narrow section of the Nugget Falls trail. Annoying it was, but it did not last long and I soon got over it. Now it makes for a good travel story. So here's a hint for popular tourist sites. If you ever notice the time it takes for passengers to get off a 56-passenger bus one by one, or off a double-decker bus? Take advantage of that time to get a head start on them. Would we go back to Alaska? Well, we would like to see the Northern Lights. Maybe Fairbanks someday. What do you think? Go for it?